dive into the world of flavors and delight. Every drop brings health and fuels our fight. Coffee, the ultimate treat. Todd Katz takes the lead, where each brew inspires and plants the seed. And now let's explore curiously with our taste buds and ears, with every delightful sip with the host. Coffee, the ultimate treat. Todd Katz.
All right, welcome back to Coffee, the Ultimate Treat podcast. I'm Kevin, and as always, I'm joined by Brian. Today, we're diving into something that's honestly changed the game for a lot of coffee entrepreneurs: how Cloudways is helping folks build the perfect online coffee business. Brian, mate, you remember when running a coffee shop meant just worrying about beans and baristas? Now it's all about website speed, uptime, and, well, not pulling your hair out over tech stuff.
Yeah, totally. I mean, back when I first started my online business, I had no clue what half those server acronyms meant. Nginx, Redis, Varnish sounded like a new coffee blend, honestly. But with Cloudways, you don't have to be a tech wizard. Their managed hosting just works. You get this dashboard that's actually user-friendly, so you can focus on your coffee brand, not on troubleshooting server errors at 2 a.m.
Exactly. And the speed, mate. I can't stress this enough. If your site takes more than a couple seconds to load, people just bounce. Cloudways has all these built-in caching tools, memcached, Varnish, the lot. It means your online shop is snappy, even if you get a sudden rush of orders after, say, a feature in a magazine or a viral TikTok. Not that I've ever gone viral, but, a bloke can dream.
Hey, never say never. But yeah, that performance boost is huge, and you can pick your cloud provider, AWS, Google Cloud, DigitalOcean, whatever fits your budget and needs. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing, which is great for specialty coffee folks who might be starting small but want room to grow.
And the pay-as-you-go pricing too, I love that. Back in the day, you'd get locked into these massive contracts, paying for way more than you needed. With Cloudways, you just pay for what you use. So if you have a quiet month, you're not bleeding cash. If you have a big promo and traffic spikes, you can scale up with a click. It's flexible, and honestly, it's fair.
It reminds me of what we talked about in episode 2, when we discussed how entrepreneurs need tools that scale with them, not against them. Cloudways really fits that bill. Plus, if you're collaborating with a team, maybe you've got a marketing person, a designer, someone handling orders, you can set roles and permissions. No more sharing one password and hoping nobody accidentally deletes the homepage.
Oh, mate, don't get me started on that. I've had a few close calls. But yeah, the collaboration tools are a lifesaver. And the staging environment, so you can test changes before they go live. That's saved my bacon more than once. You can try out a new promo or redesign without risking your main site. It's just smart.
And if you ever get stuck, there's 24/7 support. I've used the live chat at some pretty odd hours, and they always come through. It's not just for big companies. Small coffee brands can get that same level of help.
Yeah, and that's what I love. It's leveling the playing field. You don't need a massive IT team to run a slick online coffee shop anymore. You just need the right tools. All right, let's talk about something that keeps a lot of us up at night: security.
Yeah, security is one of those things you don't think about until something goes wrong, and then it's all you can think about. With Cloudways, you get dedicated firewalls, regular security patches, and free SSL certificates. That's a big deal, especially when you're handling customer data and payments.
Absolutely. I mean, trust is everything in this business. If someone's buying a bag of beans or a subscription from your site, they want to know their info's safe. Cloudways has two-factor authentication, bot protection, and even IP whitelisting. It's not just ticking boxes, it's real protection.
And the thing is, you don't have to be a security expert. The platform handles a lot of it for you. I remember in episode 5 when we talked about blockchain and transparency in the coffee supply chain, security is just as important on the digital side. If your site gets hacked, it's not just about lost sales, it's about your reputation. People remember that stuff.
Yeah, and it's not just the big guys who get targeted. Small businesses are actually more at risk sometimes because hackers think they're easier targets. Having those enterprise-grade security features, firewalls, regular updates, SSL, it's peace of mind. And it's all included. You don't have to pay extra or jump through hoops.
And if you're running promos or collecting emails for a newsletter, you want to make sure all that customer data is locked down. Cloudways makes it easy to stay compliant and keep your customers' trust. Honestly, it lets you focus on the fun stuff, like creating new blends or building your brand, instead of worrying about cyber threats.
Exactly. And, it's funny. Security used to be this thing only big corporations talked about. Now, even the smallest online coffee shop needs to take it seriously. Cloudways just makes it part of the package, so you can get on with running your business. Speaking of running your business, let's talk about what happens when you start to grow. Because, mate, if you're doing things right, you're going to need room to expand.
Yeah, growth is the dream, right? But it can also be a nightmare if your website can't keep up. Cloudways is built for that. You can scale up your server resources, RAM, CPU, storage, with just a click. No downtime, no migration headaches. If you suddenly get a flood of orders after a big promo, your site won't crash. That's huge.
And it's not just about handling more traffic. Maybe you want to add a new product line or launch a subscription service, or even open up to international customers. Cloudways lets you do all that without having to rebuild your whole site. You can even add more server nodes if you need to, so you're not boxed in by your original setup.
And the pay-as-you-go model means you're not stuck paying for resources you don't use. You can scale up during busy seasons like the holidays or a big marketing push, and then scale back down when things are quieter. It's just smart business. Plus, with the choice of cloud providers, you can pick what works best for your budget and your audience. If most of your customers are in Australia, you can pick a data center closer to them for faster load times. It's those little details that make a big difference.
Yeah, and it's all about giving you the freedom to experiment. Try a new campaign, launch a flash sale, see what sticks. If it works, you can handle the extra traffic. If it doesn't, you haven't sunk a fortune into infrastructure you don't need. It's a bit like what we talked about in episode 10, using the right tools to repurpose and scale your content. But here it's about scaling your whole business.
And honestly, that flexibility is what lets small coffee brands punch above their weight. You can compete with the big guys, offer a great online experience, and still keep your business nimble. Cloudways just takes a lot of the stress out of the tech side, so you can focus on what you do best, making great coffee and building community.
Couldn't have said it better myself, mate. All right, I think that's a good place to wrap up for today. If you're a coffee entrepreneur looking to take your business online, or just want to make your current site faster, safer, and ready to grow, Cloudways is definitely worth a look. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll be back soon with more tips, stories, and maybe a few coffee-fueled debates. Take care, Kevin.
You too, Brian. We hope you subscribe to our podcast and newsletter to stay up to date with the latest community updates. And to everyone listening, keep brewing, keep building, and we'll catch you next time on Coffee, the Ultimate Treat podcast. Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in, it's really sweet. Your ears too were quite the treat. Sipping knowledge in every beat. We hope you found it hard to retreat. Community bonds we hold so tight. In the dark roast or morning light. Gathering stories brave and bold. Every listener pure gold. Thank you from the host, Coffee, the intimate treat. In the dark roast or morning light, gathering stories brave and bold. Every listener pure gold. Thank you from the host, Coffee, the ultimate treat.